there, E.H. Howard here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the new year. Um, when we start a new year, there's nothing better than sitting down and trying to reassess things. So, if you haven't, maybe go check out the goals video and the goals worksheet, and that can kind of help you plan um, what needs to happen over the next year. If you want to achieve some things, that's a great way to get you started. It has a little action plan with it, so you can not only make the goals, plan them, but you can actually figure out how to make them achievable. And that I find is the number one problem with goals is people don't know. They set goals and they think it's kind of plug and play, and they just they don't really follow through and achieve them. And then that leads to frustration and aggravation because you haven't achieved your goals. But that's not what this video is about. It's a totally different video. All right, this one, we're going to talk about the time tracker worksheet, and it looks just like this. You can download it. The link is below this video. It's also, if you're on the website, it's right next to the video. So you kind of got everything in your hands. And one of the things for me, I'm sure you're like me. If you're a small home or solopreneur business, you're like me. There's, everybody I've ever met has always been like me. And one of the things that we say to ourselves at the end of the day, and I say this a lot, is where the hell did the day go? I feel I've been working like crazy all day and nothing happened. Like, I feel like nothing's happened. I feel like I haven't moved the needle any. I feel like I've added more work in some ways rather than like get it off my plate. And that sort of led me to do a time tracker. I kind of wanted to figure out, okay, if I'm feeling this, then that's an emotional response to something. Okay, I've had a rough day. I felt busy. I felt overworked. I'm tired. Emotionally, I'm drained. So that might mean that I'm coming at this from an emotional standpoint. And so I decided, well, let's figure this out. And I kind of kept track of, for about a week, where my time went, where my energy went. I also, and this is a side benefit to this, because I don't know if, again, you're probably like me, if you're a small home or solopreneur business, is I find I have cycles. Like, I'm really super productive in the morning. Like, when I first get in here, I am like gangbusters. Can't get enough done. I feel like, everything's flying around. I'm getting stuff done. I'm like checking it off my list. Go to lunch, and that seems to ruin the energy. That seems to ruin my momentum for whatever reason. And when I come back from lunch, it's a good couple of hours. And I don't even have to leave for lunch. If I just, like, around 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, my energy starts to, my cycle is, okay, well, I'm at the bottom. I need to recharge. And so then I spend the next hour or two watching YouTube videos or learning something. Like, I spend my time other than directly working on projects that are in front of me. And then in the evening, it picks up again, like around 4 o'clock, my cycle starts back up, and I'm like, okay, I can go gangbusters till the end of the day, usually till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So I find that I work in these bursts of 4 hours on, 2 hours off, 4 hours on, maybe 2. Like, I have these sort of cycles, almost like you're working a shift at a job. And the time tracker really helped me figure that out. And like I said, it looks like this. You can download it. And what it does is, in the morning, there's, you don't need to be detailed. You don't need to be like, drank a cup of coffee. In general, what did you do in the morning? What was the things that took up your time? There's a little column for time, like how much you put into it. Like, it took me 20 minutes. Called back clients, called back consumers, answered emails, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Any notes and comments, that's where I really started figuring out about my cycle and my work cycle, I should say, and when I was being beneficial and when I was being not my best. Go through it. I broke it out into morning, afternoon, and evening, because most of us, it doesn't stop at 5 o'clock, right? We don't, our business doesn't stop. So sometimes we go really late. Now, the other thing at the bottom here, you'll see, and this is one thing that I felt like I needed to add for me, um, just because I'm that kind of thinker, I'm a kind of problem solver, is I needed to know, okay, what were 3 things that I did today that I could consider a success or a win? What were things that I could say? And it could be little things like I finally finished working on that worksheet that I've been planning for, I've been working on for what feels like 2 weeks. Finally finished it. That was my success for the today. I had a really great conversation with a consumer or a client. Was able to, whatever it is, whatever your success or your win is, and it can be as little and simple as, I was able to reduce my downtime so that I had more productive time. Conversely, we're going to pat ourselves on the back. We want to make sure that we're, we're awesome, because no one else is going to do it for us, right? I mean, the only people helping us is us. So then the opposite of that is I wanted to find out 3 things that I needed to do better tomorrow. Okay. And those are usually, for me, more conceptual things. Like I need to break through my fear of, making videos. Like sometimes I get this overwhelming sense like these videos need to be something that are super amazing, that they need to like knock people's socks off. And if they are not like the best of the best videos, then there's no point in doing them. And that's not a good place to be. So that would be something that, tomorrow I'm going to knock out a bunch of videos, really enjoy doing them. So just get through them. I'm going to be more effective in returning phone calls and emails. I'm not a phone call person. I hate phone calls. So I tend to not, those always tend to be back burner issues. So they kind of keep going further. But the downside to that is there are people waiting for me to call them back. And if I keep pushing it to the back, it's not going to make the problem any better. It is only going to make the problem worse. And it's going to breed bad feelings. So those are like those kinds of things. Those are the things that you need to work on for the next day. Like maybe it's, and it could be something like, okay, I'm going to not work past 8. I'm going to say 8 p.m. is my shut off time. I'm not going to work past 8 o'clock. I'm going to set that as sort of like a mini goal that I can get to and just say, okay, for the next, forever. And if you're like me, like I said, I tend to work really late and I work in bursts. So, it might be like 9 o'clock and I start writing or doing something. My goal then is, okay, well, stop at 10. I'm going to stop at 10. I'm going to relax. I'm going to read for an hour. I'm going to watch some TV and whatever it is, I'm going to because you need to recharge your batteries. Okay. And that could be one of the things that you do better tomorrow is relax, take a breath and just chill out a little bit. But in general, that is the time management worksheet, the time tracker, I call it. Just because I needed to do something to kind of really figure out factually where my time was going, how much of it I was using up, where it was, all of that stuff, and then figure out a way to minimize the bad stuff and maximize the good stuff. So, all right, so that's it for the time tracker. Download it down below. The link is below. Feel free to it's right, if you're on my website, it's right next door. Download it there. And that's it for this one. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.